Welcome to the Sales and Marketing Show on GSB TV, our brand new webcast series providing insight and advice for small business owners and independent professionals from our team here in Atlanta. Each week, we'll be broadcasting a new episode with advice on things like leadership, customer service, digital marketing, and more. I'm Tyler Schmidt, and here is Chris Barnes, and today we're going to talk to you about differentiating yourself in a competitive small business environment. So Chris, explain to us how some of these ways we can differentiate ourselves as small business owners out there today.
Well, one of the biggest ways, Tyler, that I'd like to really focus on today is by differentiating yourself by creating a culture of caring and relationships, not only with your customer base, but also with employees as well. And that's what we want to talk to you a little bit about today. So first off, what I would like to do is focus on how do we show our customers that we really do genuinely care about them. One of the things is very, very simple. It's things that we can implement immediately. Those are things as simple as birthday cards, anniversary cards, Christmas cards, thank you cards. Handwritten notes typically go over very, very well with customers. Some people do emails, and trust me, emails are better than nothing. But if you don't have a CRM tool, a customer relationship management tool that helps you keep track of dates that people purchase goods and services from you, anniversary dates, birthday dates for your clients, you really need to look at getting a CRM that will do that for you. The second thing is focusing on client appreciation type events. What I mean by that, I'll give you a couple of examples. If you're in a service industry, a lot of times people will do client appreciation events. They'll get a group of their clients together and host fun, exciting events that they don't typically do on a regular basis, maybe once or twice a year. But it's a chance to get their customers together and show them just how appreciative they are of their business. One of our clients, they actually do a pie giveaway around the holidays, around Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they hand deliver pies to each and every single one of their clients. Gives them a chance to see them face to face, express their appreciation, throw their arms around them, give them a big hug and say thank you. There's definitely something to be said for that. Also, if you are in more of a transactional business, you can have rewards programs, or if you're a returning customer, we're going to give you 20% off of your next purchase. Things like that to show the customers that yes, we do value you and we do value your business. There's also promotional materials that typically businesses will accumulate over their lifetime. Shirts, mugs, cups. A lot of people in real estate do calendars, things of that nature. I get one each and every single year from our real estate agent. And making sure that you're getting those in the hands of your customers and also encouraging them to share your message with their friends and family as well. And the third thing I'd like to talk a little bit about, and I think it's the one that is the most effective in building great long-lasting relationships with your customer base and really genuinely showing them that you care, is that life happens. You know, things happen, and we all experience some level of adversity over the course of our lifetime. If you really work to build a good relationship with your customers, you're going to find that they do encounter these things. What I'm talking about is illness, death in the family, whatever it may be. Now, on the other side of the fence, you may also find that they have a new addition to the family, or they get a promotion, or whatever it might be. But when these types of things identify themselves, it's a really great opportunity for you to step to the forefront and really help them out, or recognize the accomplishment. And I'll give you just a couple of examples of what I'm talking about here. We have a couple of friends that work with us here and through a couple of our companies that have gotten sick over the past couple of years. One gentleman, he called into our office and he just said, Chris, you know, I'm really going to need a business miracle to keep the doors open. I can't pay my assistant right now, times are tough, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So what did we do? We put together a GoFundMe page and we made all of our other clients aware of the situation, and thousands upon thousands of dollars later, that gentleman was basically able to do the things that he needed to do to keep the lights on, the doors open, and the business flowing. That's one circumstance. It's another circumstance where we had an agent who had cancer, and he was getting treated for the cancer, and we were right there with him every step of the way, trying to make sure he knew he wasn't going through this alone. And I asked him, I said, well, you're not eating much because of the treatments? No, nothing really tastes good. So I said, well, what is it that you can eat that does taste good? He goes, Chris, ketchup has become my new best friend. I put ketchup on everything. It makes it taste good. So 3 days later in the mail, 2 giant bottles of ketchup showed up at his door with a handwritten note from us, just to show him that we care. Little things like that you can do. Also, we had another client of ours who his wife became ill and was in the hospital for an extended period of time. And even when she came home, he was taking care of her. And he just said, Chris, I don't really know what to do. My wife had always cooked and cleaned and done a lot of the stuff around here while I held down the fort at the office. And I said, say no more. A week later, we sent a week's worth of food to the house so that he didn't have to worry about meals and he could focus on his wife. These are things that you can't fake. You either care or you don't. And I would tell you, if you don't care and you only worry about your bottom line profitability, this is not for you. This is not what we're talking about. If you care, you care. But these are things that I want you to think about going forward in your business. What can we do to show our customers that we genuinely care about them? And Tyler, what I want you to cover is what employers can focus on to show their employees that they genuinely
Right, and
care.
I'm glad that you talked about building those relationships with clients. I think that is absolutely so important, clients and customers. And you also mentioned talking about the bottom line. As small business owners, it can be very stressful. So many small businesses fail, and we see it all the time. But if we're focused solely on the bottom line and increasing our prices and maybe cutting salaries or cutting what we're paying our employees, right, and taking away the different benefits, we're actually losing focus on the people who are driving that bottom line and driving the revenue and driving increasing sales. So I think it's so important, as you mentioned, to build those relationships with customers, but it's also so important to maintain and build relationships with employees. Whether it be paying them additional bonuses. And it doesn't necessarily have to be bonuses or money focused. It can be something as little as calling an emergency contact and telling them how good of a job that their son or husband or brother, whatever it is, doing. It could be as little as holding a Christmas party for your employees and making them feel comfortable and making them excited to be around you. It can be as little as calling that employee into your office and telling them how good of a job it is that they are doing. And I think making your employees, building those relationships with them, making them feel comfortable, makes them want to work for you and makes them want to strive, take your company to the next level. So we have employees, we also have the partnerships that we have to focus on as well.
Right.
And the same concept as, not always being concerned about that bottom line. To have a true partnership, you have to give as much as you can take. Otherwise, the partnership is going to fail eventually. Mm-hmm. So I think it's very important to make sure that you're giving back to your partners as much as they're giving to you. Otherwise, down the road, those partnerships are going to fail. And throughout those partnerships, we see so many small businesses fail, so many partnerships fail because, there are great plans drawn up and the execution is poor.
Right.
And down the road they're poor.
Right.
And so if you have a great plan, you must continue to execute that plan in order to make a small business sustainable and successful for a period of time. And so I think it's so important to focus on not only the relationships with your customers, with your employees, and with your partners, because that is what's going to increase your bottom line. That's what's going to increase the sales. And I'm glad that you brought building those relationships is what we need to focus on.
Everything that we're talking about here is about building a culture of caring. And folks, a culture of caring is part of your brand. Everything that you do is your brand. The way you look, the way you talk, the way you dress, and the way you treat people is what builds your brand. And your brand is ultimately what's going to set you apart from your competition. So folks, thanks again for joining us for the first episode of GSB TV. We'll be back next week with some more great advice to help you start, run, and grow your business more effectively. We'll see you next time.